things. We know fight, flight, freeze. We know how we can go negative really quickly, but some of us don't know how to take that thought captive. And I don't know about you, but I can go down a rabbit trail really quickly. So for us to like seize the moment and stop a negative thought, the idea is to have better thoughts. And I heard Graham Cook say that some years ago, but I'm going to approach it from a question type of formality, if you will. So if you ask yourself a question, why am I so pissy? Or why am I so pessimistic? You know, those are kind of like the way I was describing myself to my therapy friend. And, you know, he was just observing and listening, and he's like, but why not ask a better question? Why do I receive therapy so well? And I was like, dang, okay, I like that, because I do. Because if anybody tells me something in the way that I'm going that's, you know, on that wrong trail, I might, you know, express myself with some agitation, but I'm going to heed it, because wisdom is that you take that information and you apply it. Now, for 9 months, I could not shake this attitude I had. And I've done some other videos on I just was pissy, okay? And I even said, I'm always pissed off. I don't know why I'm always pissed off. But then the thought goes in search for the answer. So our brain creates these pathways, and this is how we become so caught up in bitterness and these judgments towards other people, because why'd that person give me that look? Your brain will start looking for the answer. But if it's going down into the pit of despair and, you know, hanging out in hell, then it's actually going to give you the response that your brain is looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to, you know, reiterate. He says, if you think it's bad, it will be. We've heard this before. If you think the outcome, or you're going to go search for a problem, is what you're going to find, you're correct. You will. If you say you can't do something, you're absolutely correct. You can't. I just think this is amazing, because this was like a light bulb for me, which, oh my gosh, just so exciting. Okay, so our brains go into motion to find the answer to our questions. So our problem solving starts with why, but we are bad at discerning the truthful answer, because biologically and physiologically, we're always going to look for something negative. It's like, you know, one great thing can happen, but that's hard to maintain. So then we start to seep back into the negative thought process that, oh yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it. Or I need another thing to keep searching for because that one thing was fleeting. Okay, so this is where I thought this was cool. I literally was seeing him because I had pain. So if you have a pain in the neck or a pain in the butt, then those things play out in our life. We actually, we clench, right? So when we clench, you know, we also go into protection of, you know, our neck. We bring up our shoulders and we become really tense. That's because primitively, when you think of animals, survival of the fittest, you know, when that lion is like going to go pounce on its prey, it's always going to go for the jugular, right? So that's why we do this tensing thing, and we want to like run away, which is also like fight, and then we're going to run away and flee, because it's like it's always grasping at the neck, and that's where, you know, the term pain in the neck came from. The pain in the butt thing, I think, is so funny, because this is our psoas, right? And this is like, you know, what our core comes from. And let me keep reading, because I want to make sure I get it the right way. So these hip flexors are for attacking, right? So if somebody comes at us, you know, we're going to like move, like to fight, to kick, or we're going to like protect ourselves. You know, it's going to be like this measure of, ooh, you know, we have to fight also that way. Am I saying that correctly? Right. That's defending. So you're going to kick, fight, and you have your whole core here taking on this defensive mode to defend, and then you use the butt muscles to flee a situation. I just thought this was like so amazing. Okay, and I want you to get this too, because all of this comes into the reason why we say pain in the butt. But I don't know about you, but I can be my own pain in the neck or my own pain in the butt. And I, you know, like I was proclaiming, I'm always pissy. But what if I had reason to be? Like, pain has a way of making us cranky. It has a way of coming out of us sideways. but our brain just needs to start evaluating the positive things around us. And I'm not a big person on affirmation. It's really hard for me to make a declaration unless it's scripture that tends to stick a little bit more because it says that the word will not go out void. But if I'm really stuck in just a ruminating cloud, I call them like tornadoes, I just see rumination of all these negative things. Why do I believe that I can't get out of it? It's years and years and years of telling myself it's always going to be this way. And this is where the challenge comes in. To discern a truthful answer, I would have to start asking better questions. And so here's the question that he wanted to come back and address with me. Like, why am I so pissy? He gave this example of when two men are in a urinal, there's some space between them, right? And they're urinating, going to the potty. And if somebody were to come in, like a third person or even that person next to him would get too close, they're going to interrupt the flow, if you will, because they're too close in proximity, hence coming into someone's personal space in an intimate setting. And if you notice, if you're really close to somebody, you're not going to be able to pee, okay? So when he used a statement, it's better to be, pissed on than pissed off, because your whole system shuts down. It's in fight or flight. And that's what he was describing. There's two wings. There's an involuntary system and there's a voluntary system. And we know this. The parasympathetic is going to be rest and digest. But the sympathetic is going to be where we fight or flight. If somebody gets too close to you, it's going to tick you off. You're going to be like, what's up, man? Back it up. And he's like, so you're so concerned about asking this question, why am I pissed off? Instead of, why am I so able to bounce back? Why am I so able to defend myself in a positive way? And you start twisting the question so that your brain starts looking for a positive answer. So it's going up towards the sky, up towards heaven. And you're like, maybe I don't have to be ticked off in this situation. Maybe I can be like, hey, you want to give me some space? IFS would be that. Whatever part's coming in close and really quick, and it's like in our proximity and we blend with it, I'm going to be like, hey, can you give me some space? It is possible to regenerate a positive connection with ourselves. It's absolutely possible to start asking, why am I a really good friend? Why am I actually introspective enough to ask these questions? Because I really want to be better. Why do I want to heal? Why do I want good relationship? Why do I suddenly believe that being pissy isn't working? I just was floored with this. I just thought it was so amazing because when the parasympathetic is cut off, the light bulb on the brain told your muscles and everything to contract, and it gets tense. And the parasympathetic is to help us to rest and digest. And I think what I believe our breakthrough can be is when we really just come into asking God, who do you say I am? And if you need some answers, then you're going to have to break out the word and find it. But if you don't really believe in Jesus, and you need to just break this mode of always finding the negative, then get with a therapist or get with some friends that are like, why are you so cool? Why are you so amazing that you're asking deeper questions? Why are you questioning that something could be wrong? That just tells me, and the people that hear you ask it, that your brain wants something better. And I'm here to encourage you. I'm telling you, this changed everything for me, because I then could address some of my chronic pain. Why is it that chronic pain isn't working for me anymore? Why do I suddenly feel I'm tired of this lackluster way of life? Why am I listening to doctors who have given me these prognosis that I'll never be able to do blah, blah, blah again? And instead, why can't I do it? And then you go out and try, because they told me I would never run again. I've had all kinds of chronic pain, which is why I was seeing my health holistic therapist here. And I'm encouraging every single one of us, even myself. I'm speaking to our brains, and I'm saying, why aren't you able to see the bigger picture and then ask for the bigger picture. Okay, why am I not seeing heaven? Where are my answers coming from? And how am I going to generate a new process for my brain to start looking for positive affirmation, for positive answers to the things going on in my life? I'm telling you, I'm blessing you, and we're going to start journeying into all these different ways we can take captive our imaginations and say, no more bitterness, no more pissiness. I'm moving forward, and I'm going to be healed, delivered, saved, and I'm going to walk out in the fruit and the abundance of knowing that my brain is powerful enough to heal myself.